right, folks, this is Len Dunham from Kansas, and he's doing us a demo on predators right here.
Yeah. Folks, I live in southern Kansas, 122 miles straight north here. My habitat is just basically what you see around here. I noticed that me and Kent, we've talked about this, our habitat, basically the same. I catch quite a few cats every year. One of my favorite sets is just, I'm gonna call it a nasty Dirthole. I believe in a lot of appeal, sight stuff. Cats use their eyes a great deal. But I'm gonna explain I use all MB 550s. That's my trap. I don't have anything else. Years ago, I just said I'm going to use one trap. This is the trap I went to. It's 2 coiled. In my area, I don't need 4 coils. There's no need for it. On staking, I use cross stake the old rebar way, like that, through. I went to one stake is shorter than the other, kind of helps getting them out. But that's how I stake my traps down. On this Dirthole, I'm gonna say, boy, I was looking at this deal. I like to set on location, on a sign. If I seen a Bobcat track, say this is a trail, maybe here's a trail, there's a cat track here. If I can find a track, I feel that I'm gonna catch that cat. I got that much confidence in my way I travel. I like to set on sign. Tracks, poop, then I'd say the next deal would be knowledge, locations. Some places I trap, if I don't see no tracks or sign, but I know the location looks real good, my knowledge tells me that cat could be here. Up home, we have a lot of deer. I found out for the last few years, a lot of times them big Tom Bobcats, they find a killed deer, they'll sit there until, they'll eat on that deer until it's gone. They'll just sit there, they'll eat on it, go get a drink of water, go back, rest, and you just gotta keep plugging at it. All right, this Dirthole set, this is a good backing. I like stuff like that. I got that red mark on there. That's how deep I like that hole. This is one of my favorite tools. I carry one in my pickup. It's pickaxe. I got one on my side by side. It works great for me for several reasons. I dig my trap bed with it. I don't know. I've been using them probably 10 years. As far as I am not going to drive track stakes But I use foam underneath my trap pans. I've been doing it for quite a few years now. All these MBs, they come with the night latch. Just like this, I'm gonna change my mind. I want to use one stake. I thought that tax. All my traps have got these J.C. Connor springs on them. I like to lay it right in the trap bed. I like to put the loose jaw right on top of it. I like my trap back, that's about 6 to 8 inches back, a little bit to the right. This soil, if we was doing this for real, this soil's too wet. It would freeze up, but I'm just, all right, now.
Do you use any antifreeze at all?
Know what?
Do you use any antifreeze at all?
What?
Antifreeze. Do you use
Antifreeze.
antifreeze?
Once in a while if it gets real cold up in southern Kansas, I just use regular salt from the grocery store. I put it down in the bottom of the trap bed and mix it with soil. But our conditions up there, I don't have much use for it. I do use wax sand. I do use wax sand. I like it a lot. I also use I'm trying to think.
Peat moss?
Peat moss, use that. I've used a little bit of whatever's handy, whatever. But on this, on making this Dirthole, I use a lot of Apple Road products. Works out great with me. I sell him all my glands. I sell him all my Bobcat carcasses. I trade him for bait, lure, so there's no cash money. I mean, the bait works great for me. On this, I like to put the bait on the top of the hole, if I can. There's one thing about Apple Road, and his Bobcat gland lure, it smells like Bobcat. It is a great gland lure. It just smells like cat, and I use it. On this set, I baited the hoe. I take the gland lure. I like to put it that amount. I like to put it right here. On my urine, I get almost all my urine out of my cats. When you catch a bobcat, their bladder's usually full of urine. If you keep it uphill till you get home, when you skin it, sometimes you'll get a quarter of a bottle of urine. It's the pure stuff. I mean, I don't buy no coyote, bobcat urine. But, I mean, that's just the way I do it. I've got several pints. When I start trapping this winter, it'll just keep carrying over. But here's that. I put the gland lure on that side. I like to put a little pea right there. That took care of that. I'm a firm believer in my country, the bobcats eat a lot of birds. I think that's one of their favorite deals. I happen to shoot a lot of doves this fall, and I put them in a bag one at a time. I take them. I use goose feathers, duck feathers, chicken feathers. It's illegal to use hawk feathers, but just take these feathers and just put them everywhere. I like to keep them back here. Sometimes I'll take that, if I take that dove, it don't really matter. You could even shove him down the hole. It just adds more attraction, more smell. Last few years, I use a lot of this. If I ain't got a lot of feathers, I found out I like to use polyfill. I like to just take it and just spread it. I mean, just make it. And that stuff, feathers and polyfill, it just, you can see how it's moving a little bit right there. I use a lot of this and feather, but that is basically my set. Also, there is not, if there was a limb here, I know this, I'm a firm believer in these CDs. I hang them up. I like to hang them about that high. I like them on the back side of the trap. They just catch all the wind in the world. They just sit there and they do this. I think it's a great attractor. I want to say this about last year. Every year is different. 2 years ago, I caught cats with this. Last year, it didn't seem like it mattered. I do not know the reason. I do not know the reason now, but I use these all the time. You can use wings of ducks, but I like these CDs. That's just a set I use. On this set, you can even put another smell. I use another lure I use a lot of Wayne Derrick's cat lures and stuff.
Super cat.
Cats smell better. People say, well, they use their eyes but they do, but they use their nose a lot. If you get that cat here, his instincts kick in. I like to use multiple lures. I like to kind of put them apart because on that deal, you get shuffle. You get that cat moving his head, his feet. There's one thing I didn't do. I got ahead of myself. I went out and found a few sticks. There's a difference between coyote trapping and cat trapping. You can guide cats. You can guide them. Take these sticks. Find the pan you can do this. You can guide that cat's foot. Block this up just a little bit more. Right there, that cat will come in. They come right here, step over that, right on your pan. You'll catch a dumb coyote doing this, but very few. Cats, that stuff doesn't bother him. Doesn't bother him at all.
Does it bother a great fox? Crowd a great fox like that?
We don't have a lot of gray fox up home, but I catch 2 or 3 a year in this same set. So, but I like I say, I like this stuff hanging up here, blowing. That's one of my go-to sets. It's just simple. Is there any questions you want to ask me about this?
Do you always use blocking every time you set for cats?
Yes.
Yeah, use blocking every time.
I like blocking every time I'm setting for cats.
And as you said, I caught a couple of coyotes and blocked off sets last year, so you're right. It's going to be the dumb ones that are going to get caught.
Yeah.
Not too many.
But when I'm setting for cats, I like a lot of the blocking, and some people use more than that. But
I caught a gray fox one time on a set that I saw you make. I mimicked the last time I saw you do a demo, I mimicked your set, and in 2019, 2020 trapping season, I had a Bobcat set on right up next to a tree with the CD hanging, and it was on a drag, and I caught my first gray fox ever in a set just like that.
I tell you, up home, this is up home. Every area is different. My cats, I say about every 3-4 days they make a circle. I mean, kind of what I go by. I trap some farms, some ranches. Kent's been up there with me. I trap in 7 to 10 days. I pull into a spot, put out, cover it pretty good. 7 to 10 days, I'm out of there. I do not, I know I ain't catching every animal, but I'm catching the cream of the crop, the easy ones, quick ones. I got enough permission, I moved to another farm,
Right.
another ranch. I could stay there. I could stay there and probably catch some fur. Sometimes the ranchers want me to stay longer. And I do. I say, all right, I'll stay a while. I'm gonna tell a story on cat trapping last year. This location, I've caught cats here for years. I went there and I put in 2 sets. This set and a walkthrough. 9 days later, I had not caught nothing. I had not seen nothing. The day I pulled traps, I pulled up there, had a great big bobcat. Up in our area, 30 pounds is a big tom. I'm gonna say the average is probably 24 pounds. But this cat, his belly was big like mine. I thought, man, what? I got him home, and you know the old saying that they like fresh kills and stuff. I skinned that cat and I cut him open. This cat had deer meat in him, and it was rotten deer meat. I mean rotten. I know that cat had been on that deer carcass somewhere pretty close. He finished up his deer. I mean, you just can't believe how rank it was. But I think he got done eating. You know, he cleaned that food up. He started moving. He got caught. He was full. I do not think he was hungry, but I think that visual attraction and that smell got him caught. I know that's what happened. But I don't know. Up home, we got so many deer. I noticed, I've seen bobcats on the shoulder of the road eating on a deer early in the morning. And I think they just stay right there, right at the highway, you know, and eat off that carcass. Is there anything else? Ask me.
How much did that bobcat weigh?
Huh?
How much did that bobcat weigh?
That one I caught, he weighed right at 30 pounds. He was a nice big old tom. I turned some females loose last year. It's such big country up there. You read this about turning females loose. That's fine. I think it's your own, whatever you want to do. I live in such big country up there, I think cats filter through. If you catch 2 or 3 cat, maybe one of them be a female. I think there's another female 4 or 5 miles that'll filter in. We've got a good cat population up home. So.
What's the process to release one with the catch pole? I've never done that.
Speed.
I use a death ray. I put it on him. I don't chuck it. I just get it tight on their throat. Sometimes I use that Maddox, push it down on the ground.
Right.
I want to say this. It's you just gotta watch what you're doing. But you get it pinned down, you can get your feet, you know, and move it. I think Kent, he had an accident last year.
Yeah.
On removing a cat.
Yep, I got attacked by a bobcat last year because I released it. It was the 5th or 6th of December.
and, I got anxious and wanted to leave the trap, the trap bed area. And I started kicking up a little grass at him to go, and he jumped on my head. I got a scar right here, he almost took my eye, I got a scar on here, I had a scar on my cheek. So I, as he was saying, you know, I tell everybody not to be, don't be dumb and respect the danger, because it's, I never had a cat do that, and I never thought he would. And had I been smart about it, paid better attention, something like that wouldn't happen. But I went ahead and posted it, let everybody see it, so everybody could see what not to do whenever you're.
You got a
releasing cat.
video of it?
Yeah, I got a video of it, I'll show it to you.
Be a learning for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something, when you turn them cats loose, you think they would run off.
Right.
You think they would just go, but they don't. They go over there. I've had them crawl up underneath my side by side my four-wheel. Get up underneath there, they think they can't. And man, you start the four-wheeler up and you just drive off, and he's still under your four-wheeler or side by side. They're just they don't know where they're at. That's happened several times to me on turning them cats loose.
They're mad at the guy who turned them loose.
Do what?
They're mad at the person who's turned them loose.
Oh, they're just like when you come out of surgery, you're in la la land, you know? But you just gotta be careful on turning them loose. Luckily, I ain't got, I'm gonna tell a story on myself. When I tell you something, this is the truth. A few years ago, I had a great big old cat, and I don't get around very good. It was real cold that morning, and I put the death ray on him, put him out of his misery. But when you do that, that cat, the initial jump is unbelievable. Well, I tripped and fell. And I mean, I'm right here, this cat's here, I'm laying on the ground. And it happened to be downhill, and had my coveralls on, so I just rode, but I could feel something hit me in the hind end. I mean, man, he's hitting. And I'm thinking, boy, that claws are gonna get me. And I go over to a barbed wire fence, I claw. I rode quite a way to the barbed wire fence. I didn't know nobody was around. And I pulled myself up this barbed wire fence. The landowner, he's about 200 yards from me. He comes over there, told me, he said, you look like a Rocky Balboa. He said, one strand at a time, pulling yourself up. But what was hitting me was that death ray. It was a 3-footer, and that cat was dying. And he was a flopping, that was what was hitting me. But, you know, for you young kids, you young guys that are trapping, getting into this, if you do it long enough, you're gonna have a lot of experiences.
Yeah.
There's a lot of veteran trappers here, know what I'm saying. But I don't know. And you asked me, young man, you hadn't caught a bobcat. I feel bobcats are easy to catch. There's a lot of kids up home that catch them in just a 1.5 full dirt hole setting for a coon. You keep after it. Bobcats are not the smartest on the planet. They're totally different than a coyote. So, is there anything else? You know.
I missed it because I come in late, but what did you use for your pan cover?
Pan cover, that's a piece of foam. You buy it at, I buy mine at Hobby Lobby. You can buy it at Walmart. It slides underneath the pan. I cut them. I think my measurement's 2.5 by 2.5, something like that.
You ever had them freeze up on you?
Do what?
Have you ever had those foam pads freeze? become hard where the pin wouldn't be pressed?
What did,
He asked if you've ever had one freeze before.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. If the conditions are right, I think it's wet. I told you I use wax sand. I put wax sand in the bottom of the bed and over the top, and that kind of handles the water situation. If it ain't got moisture, can't get to it, it ain't gonna freeze. But, yes, they will freeze. I've used them, I've been using them 3 or 4 years now. I used to use, donut pastry papers. Used to use that to put over my pan. They work, but I've found I like these foam rubbers better. Also, on them 550s, that foam rubber, it increases my pan tension quite a bit. I've noticed the last few years I have a lot of possums. They work at set, but they don't get hot, which I don't want.
Yeah, that's good.
But anything else? All right, guys, have a good one.